Today we will discuss vectors as cloning vehicle for genes in plant cell animals. So vector, you know that vector can transfer a piece of DNA into the host cell. For example, suppose you take mosquito. Mosquito is also called a vector. Why? Because it can transfer plasmodium into the human host. So the plasmodium is not causing any disease in the body of the mosquito, but the mosquito only can transfer the organism into the host. So they are called vector. Similarly, here also the plasmids, they also can transfer a piece of the DNA either into the plant cell or into the animal cell. The first example, that is Agrobacterium tumefacium. Agrobacterium, so that is a bacteria. It is found in the soil, and the bacteria is having a plasmid which is called Ti plasmid. The Ti plasmid is having a gene which is called tDNA. And the tDNA, when it is transferred into the plant cell, because this bacteria, it can produce disease in the plant. And as the bacteria is entering into the plant cell, now the plant normal cell is converted into cancerous. So this is the way how the bacteria is pathogenic to plants. But nowadays in biotechnology, so that tDNA, that is cut, and in place of the tDNA, we are adding the DNA of desirable interest, so that now the Agrobacterium is no more pathogenic and it can transfer the DNA into the host cell, and that DNA can express itself in the host cell. Okay, so this is the way how now the pathogenic organism, the Agrobacterium, so that is used for useful purpose in biotechnology. Second example, so that is retrovirus. Retrovirus, you know that they are responsible for causing many different diseases in animals. For example, suppose you take AIDS virus. AIDS virus, so that is also retrovirus, and AIDS virus can produce AIDS in human being. So the DNA which is responsible for producing AIDS, if it is cut, and in place the another gene of interest, so that is incorporated, now the virus in place of producing AIDS, now will transfer that DNA, and that DNA can express in the animal cell or in the human cell. So this is the way how these organisms which are having the plasmids or the vector, now they can be used for the beneficial role. To take any foreign piece of DNA, a cell has to be competent. If the cell is not competent, then the cell cannot accept the foreign piece of DNA. And what is the procedure how the cell, so that is becoming competent. DNA, that is a hydrophilic molecules. Hydrophilic molecules means water loving molecules, and the hydrophilic molecule, they cannot pass through lipid or fat. You know that cell membrane, that is made up of lipid. So the DNA being a hydrophilic molecule, it cannot enter into the cell because the lipid is there in cell membrane. So what is the technique? How the cell can be made competent? Cell is treated with divalent cation calcium. First, the cell, so that is treated with calcium ion. Then the DNA, so that can enter through the pores in the cell wall, because the cell wall, which is made up of cellulose, it is having opening of the pores. Then through the pores of the cell wall, the DNA, so that is entering inside the cell. Now the next membrane, so that is the cell membrane. So to cross the cell membrane, again the DNA and the cell, so that is incubated on ice. Now this DNA which is inside the cell wall and the cell, now they are put on ice. Then after that, now they are returned back to another medium where the temperature is maintained 42 degrees centigrade. That again it is putting back on ice. Now the cell is competent. Now the DNA, it can enter inside the nucleus, and the nucleus, it is having the chromosome or the DNA. So this is the way how we can make the DNA, make the cell competent. Now another method, because this is not only method, this is also very important question. In boards you will get the question. Also big question also you get what is the name of the cation, or how it is made competent. So it is an important concept. Now besides this procedure also, there are also another procedure, and the second one, so that is the microinjection. So in this method, the foreign DNA, so that is directly injected inside the nucleus. Because if this is a cell, then this is the nucleus, and inside the nucleus the cell's own chromosome is there. So here directly the DNA that is injected inside the nucleus, so that directly it will come in contact with the DNA and then it can join to the host DNA. So this technique, so that is called microinjection. Third method is biolistic or gene gun technique. So in this process, plant cells, they are bombarded with high velocity gold or tungsten particle coated with DNA. So in this technique, what happens? The gold and the tungsten particles which are coated with the DNA, the piece of the DNA we want to transfer, and they are bombarded directly on the cell with high velocity. So when they are bombarded with high velocity, then naturally they can enter inside the nucleus. As in the microinjection, we are directly injecting into the nucleus. Now here when these particles which are coated with DNA, they are moving with high velocity, then directly they can enter inside the nucleus and they can join with the DNA. And the last method, so that is disarmed pathogen vector. As I told you, agrobacterium, a bacteria which can produce disease on plants. But suppose the gene which is producing the disease, so that is cut, and in place we are adding another gene of our interest. Now this bacteria, in place of producing the disease, now it can be used as a tool to multiply the foreign DNA and to transfer the DNA into the host cell. So these are all the different techniques. Now what are the different steps of the recombinant DNA technology? So these are all the different processes, and by these processes you can get the recombinant DNA. So what are the techniques? Number one, that is the isolation of the DNA. We are separating the DNA from the cell, because the DNA, so that is present inside the cell or inside the nucleus. So first we have to separate the DNA from the cell. Now the DNA, so that is cut into small fragments. Yesterday I explained you gel electrophoresis, that is the technique, how the DNA, it can be separated, and the cutting, so that is done with the help of restriction endonuclease. Then after the separation of the DNA fragments, amplification is done. Amplification means we are making multiple copies of that foreign DNA, and the technique, so that is called PCR. Then this DNA, so that is inserted into the host with the help of the plasmids or vectors, and then we are getting the product that the gene can express, and the last is downstream processing. After getting the product, now there is the purification of the product so that it can be bottled and it can be marketed. The first process in the formation of recombinant DNA, that is isolation of DNA. So how the DNA that is separated from the cell. And all these you have to remember, because you get big question that if the plant cell DNA need to be separated, then what is the enzyme used? Or if the fungal cell, then what is the enzymes? Or if it is bacteria, what kind of enzymes? So lysozyme, that is used for bacterial cell. Plant cell, they are treated with cellulase, and the fungus, that is treated with chitinase. Because the bacterial cell wall, so that is not having cellulose. That is different from the normal plant cell. So here the enzyme which is used, that is lysozyme. Plant cell wall, that is made up of cellulose. So to break the cellulose, the enzyme which is used, that is cellulase. And the fungal cell wall, that is made up of chitin. To break chitin, we are using the enzyme that is chitinase. So these 3 points you have to remember. And besides the cell wall, also you know that there is cell membrane is there. There are different type of the macromolecules are there. For example, RNA. To break RNA, because there is no requirement of RNA. So to break the RNA, we are using the enzyme, so that is ribonuclease. To break the protein molecules, we are using the enzyme, so that is called protease. And to break the lipid or the fat molecules, we are using the enzymes lipase. So except DNA, the rest of the molecules, they are broken down, because there is no requirement of all these macromolecules. Then the grinded cell, so that is treated with chilled ethanol, and in the presence of the chilled ethanol, the DNA can be precipitated. then it can be taken out with the help of the spoon. Now the second step, so that is the cutting the DNA. How the DNA, now when we are separating the DNA is a long polymer, it is a long molecule, and we need only a specific small piece of the DNA for making the recombinant DNA. So now we have to cut the DNA. And how we are cutting the DNA, how we are cutting that specific gene or specific part of the DNA, so that is with specific restriction endonuclease. I told you, endonuclease, they are very specific. They can recognize a specific base pair or the specific number of the base sequence, so that they can cut at that particular point on the DNA. So with the help of using specific restriction enzymes, now we can cut the DNA into small fragments, and these small fragments, they are separated by the technique which is called gel electrophoresis. Then you can take the gene of your interest or the DNA of